Hey, how's it going? It's Colin Daniel here from riffninja.com. Well, if you're here to get some technique and some timing, you're in the right lesson. If you think you've got good timing already and you don't need any help with it, then you're in the wrong lesson. We're going to use this little fella over here, metronome, the evil metronome. I like to use a quartz one because no matter which way you tilt it or move it, keeps a fairly steady beat. This one goes all the way up to 250 beats per minute. It's not an expensive one, it's just like a $15, $20 metronome. Get them anywhere, any music store will have one. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a metronome. On the electric guitar, to be honest with you, I prefer to work with a drum machine because then the drum machine can be turned up as loud as I want it, and that means I can play my guitar at my practice level can be just as loud as if I'm playing in a band, so I can practice at the level I'd be playing in a band or close to the level I'm playing in a band, and that is also good to practice that way. But for today, this is more for you guys that don't have like a big studio to work in and you're wanting to improve your chops. Even a simple $15, $20 metronome can really improve your chops. It can improve your technique hugely. Now, I don't advise to use the old wind-up style metronomes that sit on a table, the ones with the pendulum on them that swing back and forth, you know, click, 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 the ones that wind up. Those aren't very good because the minute you put them, if you don't put them on an absolutely level place, the pendulum swings longer one way than the other, so your beat or your timing is not quite center, it's off center. Now today I'm just going to show you how to apply the metronome to the diatonic scale. You say, what is a diatonic scale? Well, it's a 7-note scale. The least you can have in a scale is 5 notes. The max you can have in a scale is 7. After that, it gets into the chromatic family. This is A minor. I've chosen the A minor. I mean, you could play it anywhere. You could play it in G. It's a movable scale. Okay? It's minor, so minor is the color. A is the pitch. We're going to go 2 octaves in a little bit. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what diatonic means. 7-note scale, 8th note is the octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2 more. I like to cover the entire position, hand position. Yes, it does cover over 2 octaves. I don't care. I'm going to cover the whole scale all the way through. Okay, right up to the last hand position possibility I've got. This is a pretty common scale. Some people in the past have asked me, well, is it natural minor? Yes, it's natural minor because it's unaltered. It's not a melodic minor scale or harmonic or gypsy minor, anything like that. It's just a standard natural minor scale. Now this key that I picked is also all natural notes, but that's not what makes it a natural minor scale. Natural minor is an unaltered minor scale. It's a pure minor scale, which is what we're working with today. And why would you want to practice with a metronome? Well, it's going to tighten up the right and the left hand really well. It's going to coordinate it better. There's nothing like a warm-up with a metronome before you go on stage, play a night of gigs, or before you go to teach like I'm doing here. And you want your hand limbered up to feel nice and relaxed. You don't have to pick a fast speed, a medium speed. Myself, I would say 120 would be something that's very easy for me to handle. Play the notes as long as you can. That's called legato, meaning hold the note for as long as you can. Don't play them staccato like this. It's It's much harder to hold the notes and play them legato. In other words, hold the note as long as you can before you change to the next note in time with your metronome. And in case you don't know this scale, I'll go over it with you briefly. I'll go over it in fingering. I won't talk about the scale notes or anything. I don't know where you are, what level you're at with your guitar. But I'm not going to skip any notes. I'm going to go through the whole thing. So I'm going to go first finger, 5th fret, third finger, 7th fret, pinky, which is the 4th finger, 8th fret. Cross over and do the same thing again on the 5th string. 5th string, 1st finger, 5th fret. 5th string, 3rd finger, 7th fret. 5th string, pinky or 4th finger on the 8th fret. There's your 6th and your 5th string. Now for the 4th string. 1st finger on the 5th fret, 4th string. 3rd finger on the 7th fret, 4th string, and now pinky extension. 9th fret, not 8th, but 9th fret, 4th string. And this is what you get now. You get 1st, 3rd, 4th, 1st, 3rd, 4th, 1st, 3rd, and pinky extension. You want to try and keep your hands in position. Now this type of scale practice with a metronome can apply to any scale. I've just chosen the A minor scale because it's a very universal scale. So we got the 5th, or the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th string, and now we'll go to the 3rd string. So we've got 1st, 3rd, and 4th, 1st, 3rd, and 4th, 1st, 3rd, and then a pinky extension to the 9th fret. Now we cross over to the 3rd string, and it's 5th fret with your 1st finger, 3rd string. 7th fret with your 3rd finger on the 3rd string. Cross over again. 1st finger on the 5th fret, 2nd string. 2nd finger on the 2nd string, and that is 6th fret. Pinky or 4th finger on the 8th fret, 2nd string. Cross over. 1st finger on the 5th fret, 1st string. 3rd finger on the 7th fret, 1st string. And pinky at the 8th fret, 1st string. That's your scale pattern. The notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Start again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Now, with the one of the most straightforward ways to handle a metronome is just one note per beat. At 120, that'd mean 120 beats, 120 notes, so 2 notes a second. And I leave the metronome on to kind of lock into it. You see, this is very good for you. Not only does it affect, even if you don't want to be a lead guitarist, it affects your timing, even with chords. It affects your timing for bass notes. It's a real good tuner-upper, that's for sure. So I let the metronome run a little bit and let it kind of sink into the old skull here. And when I'm ready, I count myself in. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'll play 1 note per beat of the metronome. When I get to the highest note in the scale, I don't play it twice, I just play it once. I'm down up picking too, you'll notice. I start like this, down, up, 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 down. Notice that I end on the same stroke that I started with. If I move the scale up another fret and play it again, same pattern, down, up, down, up, down. What I like to do with the metronome is I like to start one scale. I like to start one scale on a downstroke and the next scale on the upstroke, because if you remember, as I was coming down in my scale, my last note, my A here, was a downstroke. So if I just start with the next scale, a fret higher, and start on the upstroke, I'll now cover the opposite end of that picking stroke, which is starting on an up and ending on an up. And you can alternate between that, because every time you move your scale another fret, it changes, right? It goes back. Like if your last scale went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, like that, you know, starting on an upstroke, then it'll end on an upstroke if you do it correctly. Next one will start on a downstroke, you know, and it's really good practice. Notice how that when I'm playing with this metronome, I'm right on top of the beat. Right on top of that. Listen. I'll even turn my guitar down more. Listen. That's a bit right there. One. So I'll count it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I decided to go one more, and that's another thing with the metronome. Depending on how you feel or how your mood is, you can develop your sense of timing better by playing 2 notes or 3 notes per beat if you like. This is 1 note per beat again. You hear I'm right on top of that, metronome. Try to get as close as you can to on top of the beat. That's for tightness of playing. We can go a little faster now. We'll double it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's 8th notes, right? Double now. So 2 notes. So if I'm at 120, I just doubled it. It went to 240 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I prefer, now this does gives you a different sense of timing, because if the gap is larger between the notes rather than smaller, it's harder to get it right on beat. So if you slow it down, you'll find it much difficult. And sometimes that's good practice too for accuracy, is to just slow it down. It's not about speed. I'm going to slow it down to 60 beats per minute, half that, and play 1 note. And it'll take me a minute to get the feel of that. And try and get right on top of the note. Right on top of it. That is hard to do, and to keep it steady. It'll really develop your sense of time with your right hand and your left hand, and also with your ear. Getting the distance between the notes just right. It'll definitely give you some continuity and some steadiness with your notes. It does help your strumming a lot too. So be encouraged. If you like this type of thing, you might want to check out some of my more advanced lessons. I've got lots of scales to talk about and study on riffninja.com. And if you learned something today, great. Take it and start working with it. The immediate results from a scale practice like this, you may not notice for at least 2-3 weeks. I suggest you practice. This kind of practice is good for at least a half hour, 45 minutes a day if you want to see some improvement. So good luck. Good to you all. Take care. We'll see you soon.